This episode of Indie Mogul is brought to you by the Final Destination. Get ready for the ultimate 3D trip. Now playing.
Indie Mogul.
I'm going to have to interrupt our usual Beyond the Trailer programming to bring you a special report. When I came into work this morning, I discovered that most of my colleagues were dead, victims of a poisoned ice cream cake eaten at an office birthday party. It's times like this I'm glad I work from home. But interestingly, all the on-camera talent at the party did not die. Was this the result of some on-camera, off-camera feud? I looked into it because, being my own writer and editor, I could go either way in the feud. But instead I discovered something most unsettling. Let me walk you through my findings. First, as any self-respecting horror movie fan knows, in the world of Final Destination, an individual has a vision of impending death for him and a large group of people. He then saves a few friends, only to have death pick them off one by one anyway because you can't cheat death. In the first film, it was Alex Browning who had the premonition that Flight 180 would explode. In the second film, it was Kimberly Corman who looked into the future to witness a deadly pileup on a highway. Then for the third film, Wendy Christensen ruined a perfectly good evening at a theme park when she accurately predicted that a roller coaster would derail, killing all aboard. And this month, Nick O'Bannon will have a vision of deadly pandemonium at a race car track. Now, here's where it gets interesting. As we can add to this list, BFX host and my co-worker, Erik Beck, who is a real person, as he saw his co-workers die by ice cream cake before it happened.
We're all gonna die!
Real life is always so much more low-key than the movies. But thankfully, Erik was able to save 3 people from a cold, milky death. Derrik D of Fastlane Daily, Obama Girl from Barely Political, and Bobby Miller from Real Good Show. Of course, they all believed Erik's vision after discovering their colleagues were dead. But there was little time to mourn, as we've got shows to get up. And because his is a daily show and death would not be denied, Derrik D was the first to go.
It's got a mid-mounted V8, one of the best exhaust notes I've ever heard. And what better day to go out driving when you got 1,000 miles ahead?
Heartbreaking, especially to the Fastlane Daily producers. That's why you'd think the producers of Barely Political would take the threat a little more seriously with one body bagged. But no, take a look.
Something about not cool to avoid death. I don't know.
That sounds silly.
Dang it.
Tell Obama it would have been nice for him to call me.
That is shocking. I can't believe Obama never called her. And speaking of being betrayed by what you love, poor Bobby Miller.
Bobby, did you want your tea?
So ultimately, Erik couldn't save his fellow hosts from their final destination. But Erik himself is still alive. And it was very nice of him to show you how to duplicate these horrific deaths for your own films. Nice, and if you do use those skills, it would be a touching ode to those we lost. As for me, while I wasn't in Erik's vision, I'm not taking any chances. So that means no audience interviews today because I'm not going outside. In fact, I'm not leaving this studio. So that's why this week's one-sentence review challenge is particularly important. After you've seen the new Final Destination movie, leave your 1 to 10 rating below, as well as your one-sentence review. Whoever writes the best one wins a free pair of AMC movie tickets, and I'll announce the winner on Sunday's episode of Movie Math. Hopefully I'll have been able to go home by then. I'm Grace Randolph, and just this once, you're gonna have to go beyond the trailer yourself.
For 10 years, one franchise reinvented death. This summer, death saved the best. Look out! For 3D.
Have you lost your mind?
The Final Destination.
Everything's gonna be okay!
Rated R. Now playing. Relive the first 3 movies on DVD.